Valiant Legacy Saga. Chapter 2. Fall of Zuam. The desert wore the city like a crown of glass. From his terrace above Vandalay Zuam, General Zuam warmed his hands around a cup of bitter coffee and studied the streets he had coaxed from sand and stubbornness. Irrigation lines glimmered like veins at dawn. Granaries shouldered the wind. It pleased him, briefly, to see order hold. The floor shuddered. A low, rolling concussion rippled through the district. On the horizon, a bloom of dust and fire rose where the Zuam sector met the outer wall. Zuam set the cup down without looking. Calm first, then movement. He took his sidearm from the table, checked the cylinder, and started down. By the time he reached the breach, the streets had frayed into panic. Bodies, shouts, grain sacks trampled open like spilled gold. Through settling dust stood Art Vandalay with a cordon of soldiers at his back, eyes narrowed, posture carved from iron. "Lock it down," Art said, not loud, not soft, simply final. "Zuam's sector is sealed. No one in, no one out." "Evacuate the civilians," Zuam answered, already reading the wind. "That blast will draw the sandwalkers. We don't feed them the city." Art's gaze did not waver. "We evacuate nothing until we know who touched our wall." He tipped his chin to his officers. Lines moved. Gates ground shut. Screams rose from the wound in the masonry. The first of them came running, skin tattooed with grit and stone, eyes hollow with thirst. Where they struck, people fell, and rise again within heartbeats, voice lost to the desert's hunger. Zuam pointed civilians inward into masonry and shadow. "Inside! Bar your doors!" he called, the words simple enough that terror could obey. Automated horns brayed across the sector. Old speakers crackled to life. "Citizens, the Zuam sector is now under quarantine. Remain indoors. Exposure risks infection or death." From the quarantine wall, Vandalay troopers worked their rifles in grim discipline. Sandwalkers and stragglers alike fell in measured lines. Zuam forced some survivors into a warehouse and moved among them, binding wounds with grain sack cloth. A man lurched for the doorway, wild-eyed. Zuam's pistol barked once. Plaster dust sifted from the jam near the man's ear. "You put this room at risk," Zuam said, voice a stone in a river. "You will not open that door again." The man nodded, shaking. On the roof, the desert lay quiet beyond the breach. Far off, banners moved. Kulk's colours posted like a question just beyond range. Zuam filed the sight away without judgment. First, hold the city. A month ground by in ritual. Sweeps, rationing, controlled burns at night, where the walkers pooled too deep to clear by day. Communication in the sector reduced itself to gestures and knocks. The city learned to breathe small. At last, at a grey sliver of dawn, Art Vandalay gave his order. "We take back Zuam, front to gate. Every block." The advance moved like a gear-teeth march, breach secured, stairwells cleared, rooftops retaken in a steady, ruthless cadence. By noon, repair crews were on the wall, mortar mixing in broad tubs, hands black with dust and resolve. A year passed. The Zuam sector lived again, scarred but breathing. Its survivors rehoused in the Vandalay sector, while stonemasons rebuilt the breach one brick at a time. In the high offices where Zuam once took his morning coffee, Art Vandalay sat alone with a glass of whiskey, staring down at the city he had kept by blade and will. He made 2 calls. The first to Empress Alloriana Donnham, requesting a move on Kulk's border. The second to his military headquarters. "Rouse the army," he said, the words level and unadorned. "Tonight, we march."